The curtain rises in silence, the kind that hums with anticipation. A single light cuts through the dark, and there she stands, Dame Judi Dench, small in frame, immense in presence. To the world, she is warmth, wit, and wisdom, a national treasure. But behind the applause and the honors, there was one name that tightened her jaw. One man whose shadow followed her for decades, and for reasons few ever understood. She truly hated him more than anyone. In the early days, before the knighthood and the global acclaim, Judi was just another young actor trying to survive the unforgiving grind of British theater. She was hungry, uncertain, brilliant. And then there was him, older, established, respected, a gatekeeper of sorts, with the power to elevate or quietly erase. They shared stages, rehearsal rooms, long nights under hot lights. Two outsiders, it looked like mentorship. To Judi, it felt like something else entirely. There's a story whispered among stagehands about a rehearsal that went on far too long. Judi, exhausted, pushed herself through a scene she believed in with everything she had. When it ended, the room stayed quiet. He broke the silence not with praise, not with guidance, but with a cold, dismissive remark that cut deeper than any review ever would. The room laughed nervously. Judi didn't. She smiled, nodded, and carried that moment with her for years. Hate is a strong word. Judi Dench doesn't use it lightly, but those who knew her well say this wasn't about ego or competition. It was about something far more personal: control, belittlement disguised as tradition, a quiet insistence that she should be smaller, softer, less threatening. And every time she refused to be, the tension grew. As her career soared, his seemed to follow a different arc. Awards piled up for Judi. Roles became richer, bolder. She embodied queens, lovers, survivors. Yet even at the height of her success, mention his name, and the temperature changed. Her voice would steady, her eyes sharpen. It wasn't bitterness, it was memory. One night, years later, they crossed paths again at an industry event. Champagne glasses clinked, smiles were exchanged, cameras flashed. To the public, it was a polite reunion of legends. But those standing close noticed Judi's hands tremble slightly as she adjusted her bracelet. Not fear, not anger, something unresolved, something heavy. What happened between them was never written down, never confessed in a tell-all interview. That's what makes it linger. Some say he took credit for her ideas. Others believe he sabotaged her early chances, subtly steering directors away. Or maybe it was simpler than that. Maybe he saw her brilliance and resented it. Maybe she saw his cruelty and never forgave it. There's a moment late in Judi's career, during an intimate interview, when she's asked about difficult collaborators, she pauses longer than usual. The room holds its breath. She doesn't name him, she never does, but she speaks about kindness as a responsibility, about how words can wound more deeply than failure. Her eyes glisten, just for a second, then she smiles, and the moment passes, but the message lands. Hate, in this case, wasn't loud or explosive, it was quiet endurance. It was choosing not to let someone else define her worth. It was carrying a wound and still stepping into the light, night after night, performance after performance. If he expected her to break, he was wrong. She transformed that pain into power. And here's the twist no one expects. In the end, he faded from the story. Judi didn't. Whatever hold he once had dissolved as she became something undeniable. The hatred didn't consume her, it sharpened her. It reminded her why she fought, why she stayed, why she refused to shrink. So, who was he? Really? A villain? A mirror of an industry slow to change? Or just a flawed man who underestimated the woman standing in front of him? And what does it say about us? That we celebrate the triumph but rarely confront the cost. As the final applause echoes and the lights dim, one question remains hanging in the dark. How many great stories are shaped not just by love and talent, but by the quiet resolve to rise above those who tried to hold us down?